Okay. Fighting, Civil War battles, campaigns, a lot of weird things, saying no to the army and standing out to be the heavyweight champion. This man has done it all. Muhammad Ali is a very important person in not only our history, but also in a lot of people's lives, and even in my life as well. Now I want to talk about this man, and I want to explain to you how great he truly is. And I want to look at three different perspectives. I want to look at Muhammad Ali as an athlete. Then I want to look at Muhammad Ali as a campaign person within the Civil War fights. And after that, I guess they'll compare both, for the military aspect too. And my last point I want to talk about is what his final impact was on not only my life, but in the life of everybody that he has mainly impacted on. So, as I slowly go to the right, which I can't go to right now, but I would be there, Muhammad Ali as an athlete has been huge. He's been this kid that just has been persevering. He's been fighting for a long time in his life. He spent the majority of his time when he was in his high school years to go out and fight instead of focusing on grades. I mean, he ended up getting 298th out of 302 people. I mean, he was one of the worst when it came down to grades in his education. He never really cared about it. But as an athlete, that's where he strived at. That was what gave him his name, and that's what made him really popular among the people. Now, Muhammad Ali, first off, started off as this really rugged kind of a dude. He wanted to fight, he wanted to move around, and he wanted to be this really strong character. But the one thing that I realized in his life is that he had to have a really high endurance and a really high amount of charisma to be able to keep up with all these fights and become an amazing fighter. And that's what he did. He had long practices, long days of work, lots of exercise, and just strengthening of his body. In the long run, he just had to pull it out and make himself a great fighter. When he went into the heavyweight grand championship, he had to go in and fight the crap out of his life. Ended up winning in the 5th round due to the fact that his opponent ended up running out of energy due to the amount of punches he ran. In the long run, Muhammad Ali just kind of bunkered down and just took all the hits. In the end, he just punched him out and won the fight, ending up becoming the heavyweight champion. It was a huge fight for a lot of people, but at that point in time, it made a lot of people realize that if you persevere and you try hard enough, you'll be able to still win, no matter how big or how crazy the fight is. But at the same time, being an athlete, it also comes with a price. He also has a lot of injuries, he's also had a lot of concussions, and he's due to all these things, he also gained the Parkinson's disease, and because of that, nowadays, he's really struggling as a later adult and a later senior. So moving on from his athletic life, I want to go look at him with his little civil campaign kind of livelihood. Now what kind of started this whole big thing off, and one thing I really like to look up to, is the fact that he said no to being enlisted asked to go to the army. And when he was asked to go to the army, he said no. He was busy doing this thing, and there's a lot of other things going on, and that prevented him from actually going into fight. And so due to the fact that he said no to the army and all of this other kind of stuff brought up, he ended up losing his ability to fight. And so he had to end up giving up 3 years of his fighting career just so that he could continue protesting and point out that he does not want to be a part of the army. And so because he did this, he started making a civil campaign, and a lot of people rallied up behind him, and they started noticing him as this huge symbol that not only affected the people at that time of day of age, but also the people of the athletic world. And even to this point in day, I am still talking about this man, and it has still affected our lives as well. So moving on from that point, and noticing how the Civil War exchanges into our lives, I want to look at how this is impacting everybody else. So due to the fact that not only is this guy giving up 3 years of his prime time when he was a fighter, and so that he could protest what he believed in and protest in what he thought was right at that time, one of the things I look at is the fact that this guy, he believes in what the crap he thinks he wants to do. And so in that case, he fought for everything he could just so that he could get what he wanted to get. And that is truly one of the biggest reasons why I look up to him, and so does the regular people of society. So in conclusion today, I've really talked about Muhammad Ali. I've looked at his life as an athlete. I've also looked at him in the world of the military issues and the civil campaign he had created. And then I also talked about how big of an impact Muhammad Ali has not only on the civils, on my own life, but also on the entire life of society itself. So, thank you.